Welcome to Enchanted Tarot. This is for the sign of Gemini. It is a general reading. That being said, it may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't sound like it's your story, check your other placements. Your messages could be there. So somebody has some very deep jealousy issues, trust issues, and this has caused them to overreact, to make a judgment call. But, this person was fed bad information by the wizard. So this is something that they've heard that they believed to be true. Why? Because it hit a trigger. Because it felt similar to something that happened to them in the past that hurt them. And so they were triggered by whatever it was they heard that caused like this chain reaction to happen where they overreact. They said some really harsh words, hurtful words, and they may have ghosted you because their heart was breaking and they felt betrayed, and they may have, in effect, without thinking, tried to hurt you too, This is somebody who's very hot-headed. Now, their challenge here is going to be to change the situation by changing something within them. Because if you want to change your the exterior world, you must begin with the inner world. And so clearly their challenge is going to be to overcome all past and present ghosts. And this can cause some old painful memories, emotions to resurface. Okay, but clearly this is something that happened very swiftly, very abruptly, and I feel that regret would set in very quickly. This most likely is a pattern of thinking. They get triggered very easily because of their past. This cycle is not over, okay, with this person. Here we have the first card in the reading. There you go, Medusa. Says it all, right? So this person's temper flared. They became suddenly very jealous and cold. This is somebody who gets or turns cold like stone, right? Of a sudden. The challenge they make here will be choices. There's choices that they are facing for the future that are challenging, and there is a choice here about having to repair this relationship, and can it be repaired, or to start anew. Okay, but of course they're still functioning here on old emotions, a lot of negative thoughts. This energy is going to change. This person has put the distance between you. They're very hot-headed. They've ghosted you. They don't... I feel like there's a lot of things they're pushing away that they're in denial about, and the challenge will be for them to face those things, because we have buried pain over here. Okay, and that is associated with this situation that has happened. So this is looking back at the work you've done, This situation, I do feel is like a fated event. We do have the hand of fate here. It can be happening in order for them to see this, to see that this needs to be dealt with, that they can no longer sweep these things under the rug, that they must face these past ghosts. Looking to the past for wisdom, for a future decision, an explanation, an apology for having wounded someone. I feel like they're seeking clarity about information, possibly, that they received. So I kind of get like they start to think about this situation and maybe start to wonder if perhaps they have been misinformed, Here we see the argument that resulted because of somebody, trying to cause trouble or passing the wrong information. So this person is looking at the information that caused the argument, that caused the fall to happen. That caused them to lose their cool, to lose control of their emotions. Typically, this card would be warning you that you need to be careful, but they're reflecting on it. So this is something that has already happened. They have taken a fall because they were not careful, because Medusa is here, you see. And now they're sitting in the Four of Swords energy. I feel like they are longing for a healing. I feel like they're very tempted to reach out, but maybe a little bit stubborn. Here's the conflict. Because they felt, when it came to the emotions, that things were not as they appeared and that they were going to be betrayed. You see, deception, lies, heartbreak with this card. Cheating. So they may have had information that about you being seen with someone else, possibly. But whatever it was, they were misinformed. They did not have all the truth, and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that they didn't have the right information. Not only were they missing information, they didn't have the right information. But it hit a trigger, and the trigger is a large part of the problem. So this is the buried pain. There it is. The buried pain that somebody needs to take care of. Now, this person could be often blaming others for the problem or their problems, and there could have been a pattern. But in effect, it goes back to the inner world, things that have happened, beliefs, with the Hierophant. Their bitterness stems from the belief system, from an experience they have that caused them to believe something. Yeah, and in looking back, they could be uh, they could be very afraid to look back, but understand, or they need to understand that they're no longer the same person they were when they had that experience. So when they look back at this thing or things they've buried, they will see it differently and may realize that, there was no need to be afraid, at all. Because they see it differently. Because why? Because they have changed. You see, they're very afraid here in the Nine of Swords. And that very fear stems from that Ten of Swords and causes them to become this Knight of Swords. And Medusa. Triggers that make them upset, that make them take bad decisions. So that's where they need to look, at the buried pain. And although these were painful experiences when they did occur, in looking back, they will not see that the same way. They need to stand on the outside looking in, which is how it's going to be. They'll see that, it's that it's time to let that go, that they no longer believe that to be true. And that will change things for this person and for this relationship, really. And, it is the challenge. The challenge is to overcome all these past and present ghosts. So somebody was misinformed. There's been a huge misunderstanding because of some information, some false information that was put out or discovered or found and perceived to be true. So, the obstacle will be in the challenge, of course, and the challenge needs to be overcome here for this new beginning to begin. Otherwise, you're just going to be repeating cycles, And so the connection is really a strong connection. This is twin flame connection. So there are very intense feelings. It could sometimes feel like a roller coaster of emotions. But we have as your final card this Page of Cups. So I do feel that, and the choice to come forward with the lovers. So they've decided they're going to fight for the relationship. There you see them charging. There's the same knight. He's up, charging, ready to go to battle to win you back. Just one very important thing is that this challenge must be completed or at least well underway before this occurs again. But you will get communication. There will be an apology. There will be an expression of feeling and the depth of feeling, and a very, very intense moment here in the future because of the connection. They still have this vision of the Four of Wands. They're standing currently on the outside, but they hold the vision, and that is what they're fighting for, to overcome the difficulties. And how do they do that? Through the Hanged Man energy. By realizing that in order to change the outer world, they must change the inner world. That is what I have for you. I thank you for watching, for liking, and for sharing my videos, and for subscribing. Also, thank you to everyone who has sent in a donation. It is greatly appreciated. Many blessings to all of you.